From the Keithman Sakala Studios in Patterson, New Jersey, Green Arrow Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, out-of-body and near-death experiences. What are they? And now your host, JC3.
Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real?
Is this real?
Tonight's episode, like usually, is presented by W Energy Drink. Go to w.gg, punch the code IsThisRealPC for your 10% off your Debbie products.
Where's W?
Now, gentlemen, let me introduce everybody in the booth like I always do. Big Joe, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Mr. West is in the building. Say hello to everybody.
Hi.
Pope himself.
I'm in the Pope.
Say hello.
Ciao.
Roadblock son.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody?
And I'm JC3. So tonight, as Dad said, we are talking about near-death and out-of-body experiences, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's some stories we have tonight, personal stories. I don't know if we all have a personal story for an out-of-body or near-death experience. I know I don't.
I think, well, no, lucid dreams don't count as outer body experiences.
No, they really don't. That's something completely different.
Yeah, so that's, I don't
How
have
about drinking? Does that count?
No, that's more of an alcohol thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's-
What about smoking so much you don't fucking know what's going on?
That's called
And
numbing
that-
yourself.
That's called having a problem, Josh.
I'm just saying. It's called a
getting
good night.
So fucking high.
Yeah,
You
that's
feel like you're out of your body.
that means
Well,
therapy.
I got something for that, actually.
Mushrooms.
All right, so what are we sitting here talking about first? You want to do out-of-body or near-death experiences? What is everybody? Because I have technical terms and like the technical definitions of them. Obviously, our resident
We all
therapist is not here.
See, here's
Cito
my
is not
thing.
here.
I'm not sure when you say, like, out-of-body experience, I get. I've heard the stories, and like, it tunes very much with, like, astral projection.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. Near-death experience, to me, is a little vague. Because, like...
It's like a near miss.
Kind of, but it's like if you're driving your car and you look at your cell phone and then you look up and you like, oh shit, and like you almost hit someone, like that could be a near-death experience.
No, that's just called irresponsibility.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Don't do that thing.
Well, let's just look.
But
Okay,
like,
so,
what is a near-death experience?
so
that
what
has to
I
be,
have,
like, this big thing?
what I have from here from the if I can get it up here, hold on, the
That area.
University of Virginia.
Ooh.
Near-death
And
experiences are
Virginians.
intensely vivid and often life-transforming experiences, many of which occur under extreme physiological conditions such as trauma, ceasing of brain activity, deep general anesthesia, or cardiac arrest, in which no awareness or sensory experiences of any kind should be possible according to the prevailing views in neuroscience.
So basically, it's like you were dead.
And like you ever had that everyone
you
knows
should have been dead.
Yeah, everyone knows that story of I saw the light at the end of the tunnel type thing. That would be considered if you have that in
From
a near death experience.
well, that's also because when you're going through that near death experience, so to say, your body's releasing a mass amount of DMT that's in your lungs. No, dead ass. Like your body.
Well, I'm asking what his DMT is. Like I don't know.
So DMT, it's a people have made it more of a drug that causes that in your body. Now your highest concentrations of DMT are when you're born and when you're about to die. It's just a chemical that gets released in your body where pretty much that whole, oh, I see the light, I'm seeing angels, I'm seeing XYZ. It's pretty much a chemical reaction that's happening in your body because it's in a near-death experience, and the closest similar thing to that was when you were first born. Now, DMT, people try to use that as a drug in order to change their life perspective in some sort of way, kind of causing like an ego death.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like
It's
DMT.
very,
I have
it's a
no
very-
idea
it's a
how to
very-
fucking say that word. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, the metric.
Tryptamine.
It's a very wild experience. Like from what people have said in stories, pretty much you smoke it, and by the second, yeah, you're gonna die, bro.
Sorry.
You're gonna see what DMT feels like.
Hey,
Used
maybe I
as
can
a
get it.
psychedelic drug and prepared by various cultures for ritual purposes. Okay, like that's
So
that's
I have
great,
something like
I
that.
guess.
No, yeah,
DMT is a hallucinogenic tryptamine drug that occurs naturally in various plants such as Psychotria virtuis or chacruna. Some people call it the spirit molecule due to the intense psychedelic experience. Although lesser familiar than other psychedelics such as LSD, Mr. West, or magic mushrooms, Mr. West,
Yeah.
DMT produces a brief but instance
It's
visual and auditorial hallucinogenic experience.
It's like the most intense 15-20 minutes of your life. Like I had a coworker who mentioned that he smoked DMT. By the first inhale, it's something, and by the second inhale, you're already gone. And from what he was describing to me with that story is that pretty much he kind of like he looked like he was dead. Like people had to like make sure he was breathing and stuff, but he was mentally not here.
God.
Another similar ritual that some cultures do, the Peruvians they go through an ayahuasca trip. If you're
That's what Aaron Rodgers does?
yeah. So
Aaron Rodgers says he does ayahuasca.
So ayahuasca is
that motherfucker's gonna be playing quarterback for the New York Jets.
so ayahuasca, what
no
that
wonder he's
is,
a good quarterback. He thinks there's a fucking snake in his arms. He's trying to get it the fuck away from him.
that'll probably do it. Ayahuasca is a I believe it's a tree that the Peruvian shamans use the bark of that tree and they prepare it in some sort of tea or some sort of herbal remedy that you drink it. And back in ancient Peru, when they did ayahuasca, it was to pretty much make you a man. You drink this fucking thing and you go off in the jungle and they tell you survive. You come back and you're good. That's how they did it.
What did you do?
So
I
now
fucked that cat.
So
What?
now, so yeah, that fucking jaguar had it coming. But now because things are more not like that anymore, people go and take ayahuasca trips down in Peru, South America,
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers
in
thinks
order
a pigskin
to in
is
order
really a
to
pig.
go through that same spiritual near death experience.
So my question wouldn't does it get them to like as far as like that near death experience, or wouldn't that be more of an out of body experience at that point?
Well, I mean, I've personally never done DMT or ayahuasca.
I mean, how did you feel on LSD or mushrooms there, sir?
Amazing. You remember how Christmas was?
Yes, I do.
That felt great.
He thought Santa was here.
Oh man, that felt
Dad,
great.
what's the most fucked up psychedelic shit about you? Like, do you have any experience with this type of shit?
See, I'm not hearing myself here. You guys hear me? Because I can't hear shit.
Yes, I mean, yes, we hear you.
Well, and mine's very low. Anyway, I never was a really a drug head other than weed. I love my weed. However, I did. A buddy of mine slipped me some acid one time.
Hey.
And when he finally told me what it was, I was so fucking panicky that I remember that night vividly. It was at Hank's Bar in Halden, and I just kept monitoring myself every moment of the way, and I never felt anything. I never got off. I never, now going to answer your original question, I mean, I remember going, and hotboxing in a van. Now, for all you people who don't know what that means, it means you close all the windows and there's no escape of the weed, and just
You're suffocating yourself with carbon monoxide.
Basically, yeah, you're fucking yourself over. But the intent to high is intense. So, and that's probably the craziest I've ever gotten, other than 30 beers down at Tulip Club. But that's neither here nor
30
there.
beers in 5 minutes. What?
No, that was all night. Plus, I had a sack of. Never mind. Anyway,
Whoa. What?
So basically, it's like you almost died because of whatever. Like maybe the doctor fucked up, gave you too much anesthesia, or you were in a car crash and you were in a coma, so you almost died there. So that's what they're talking about here. So it's the experience.
Sounds like it's chemically induced.
Well, I mean, okay, so
here's the fucked up thing. This is why I'm like, I know not everybody goes through that shit.
Referring to the near-death experience, right?
Near-death experience. Because our grandfather did die July 4th, 2005, 2004?
3.
2003, whatever.
No, you're talking about Papone?
No, I'm talking about when Pop had his heart thing. At the,
That was 2003.
Okay, so 2003, 4th of July, our grandfather goes down, and they had to revive him. Like, his heart had stopped because of was arrhythmia or whatever.
Well, that was actually you.
Right, I started CPR to
Shout
keep
out
it
to
going.
Anthony, saved his grandfather's life.
It
Thank
is,
you.
yeah. But, like...
The way you worded that made it sound like he was the cause of the heart attack.
No.
I
Probably
didn't start-
was.
I smacked the shit out of him because I thought he was fucking with me.
He did. He hauled off and hit that old man.
Yeah.
I thought his eye became straight at one
I
point.
fucking
like,
knocked him upside his head. That didn't jump his heart back. But I started to see... But,
Like, motherfucker!
yeah, he went down. I started CPR. He came back. And I asked him afterwards, like...
He went down hard.
Like, they said you were dead, Pop. He's like, yeah. I'm like, did you see any white light? Did you see any tunnel? Did you see anything? Like, no. I just, like, I wasn't there. Like, it was just darkness.
Well, he was also letting life pass him by, too. Like, he didn't understand. But you know
I'm
how
sitting
Pop
there like,
was.
What was
wait
that
a minute.
song?
You
How's that
almost
song
you
go?
died.
Life just passing me by.
Yeah, like,
That's
but
what it was
literally,
like.
we all know
I
how
mean,
Pop
I hear
was.
stories
like,
about this shit all the time, and I have, like, a first-hand experience, kind of. Like, in, like, what was it? What was it like? He's like,
He wouldn't have known it anyway.
2 out of 10.
Oh, we're not rating the near-death experiences now. That's
He's
not.
like,
That's later in the life.
I would-
So,
I wouldn't do it again. I'm like, thanks, Pop.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it goes to the person. Now, again,
I seen some shit when I like almost passed away once. Like that was just wild shit. So I'm okay. Just to throw the story out there since I just said it.
I mean, you're gonna have to now. It's a podcast. Speak up, motherfucker.
So back in my early little teenage years, I think I was about 14, some change. We would climb Garrett Mountain for the fuck of it, like on the dangerous side of things, with no rope, no harness, nothing, just literally just free climbing this shit. And one day,
This man's out here bareback in mountains.
I mean, he has the hands for it. Look at those fucking things. I mean, come
That's
on.
true. That's true.
I have good grip.
Boulders.
Boulders.
Good grip, ladies. Good grip.
So anyways, we start climbing the mountain, and then it was cloudy that day, and we didn't think it was gonna rain, or if it did rain, we didn't kind of care. But then it started raining like hard, bro, like really
Mid-climb?
Yeah, mid-climb. That shit was
Idiots.
starting to get really bad,
Sorry.
to the point where these rocks, like, yeah, I got finger strength, but like you start losing your finger strength right as soon, right as
The wetter it gets,
as-
the less
yeah,
strength you have.
Yeah, it's all that is getting there.
Oh yeah. By that time, you're soaked.
Oh, drenched.
Just getting there.
Just drenched, and it wasn't in a good drenched. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, let me ask you a question, Eric. I mean, now you went out to do this rock climbing on one of the most dangerous places in Passaic County.
mm-hmm.
Did you not bother to check the weather?
Like Market Street is first, and then it's Carrot Mountain.
No, I think, I think West Broadway, 4th Ward is more dangerous.
Okay.
No, we didn't
Dad?
bother to check the weather.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Dad. He said he was like 14.
I-
What
I-
14-year-old checks the fucking?
I didn't. No, we didn't care. That was the thing too,
Wait, hold on,
because it was part of our little habit.
Wait, this was a habitual thing?
Yeah, we would climb these mountains for fun every day.
And you didn't have no abs or anything back then. I'm like, what the fuck?
No. I was a scrawny little motherfucker.
Like, Jesus
I was,
Christ.
I was agile. But anyways, to continue the story, it's pouring down on us, and like I'm pretty much losing my grip and like almost about to slip fall. And then the second I get to the top of the mountain, I see, to me it was death, or it was like the aspect of death, because it's pouring rain, and like, you know how when it's raining a lot, your vision gets like a little like blurry and fogged up because of all the water's hitting your face.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So so as I'm like looking up, like in disbelief that we actually like kind of survived this, I see like a shadow like just figure in the distance, and then like when I went back to look at it, it was gone.
This motherfucker's having World War II flashbacks climbing a rock, bro.
It was a fucking park ranger in a parka.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was. He would have been like, "Hey."
He would have got arrested. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think climbing the mountain is kind of legal without the proper tools or the proper paperwork.
Good point.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's
So
not. Don't do this.
yeah. Park rangers.
do
we
this.
don't know what we're talking about. He didn't do this. This was 15 years ago.
Right. This was.
Statute of limitations.
You can't prove that I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This whole story could be made up, but it's not.
Climbing
I mean,
a wet
but not-
mountain.
I mean,
And then-
look.
and then-
I mean, he was. I mean, my question to everybody: do you think with near-death experiences, do you think when people say my whole life flashed before my eyes, does that count in a way also?
I don't
No,
think it makes
because
sense.
because when they say your life flashes before your eyes, it's because your brain can't process what's happening and it's going back through all the memories in order for you to get to the same survivability rate of what's happening to you right then and there. That's why your life flashes before your eyes.
I don't think that actually happens. I don't believe in it. I really don't, because like, if your whole life is gonna flash in front of your eyes at the moment of death, then a part of your life would also be the incident that's leading up to your death. So you would get to that moment where you would start to see your life flash before your eyes, and then you would have to live through your life flashing before your eyes.
It's not Inception, Anthony.
But I'm saying, like, if that's part of your life, to see your life flash before your eyes, you would have to live through that indefinitely, over and over again. You never get to die.
Oh no, maybe it's just the
Is that the secret to mortality?
particular moments.
No,
of your
I think
life that
Orochimaru
happen.
has that secret.
I don't know what that is. Don't curse
Ooh.
at me in French. We've been over this, West.
My bad.
But,
know
yeah,
what you
so-
meant.
So, Roblox, have you had any near-death experiences?
The closest thing to a near-death experience I had was,
Driving with Anthony?
well, yeah, those every
That's
single,
why I started laughing.
every single fucking time. No, it was when I was younger. It was teenagers. I think I was about 17. Me and I think like two of my cousins and some friends of theirs went to that club in downtown Patterson.
Oh God, which one?
It was right on Main Street.
Well,
if I'm
that's a
correct.
problem right there. You went to a club on Main Street.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. First of all, it has nothing to do with the club. All right. Anyway,
Doesn't
we
matter.
went there.
Still Patterson.
We left. It was like, I don't know, 12, 1 o'clock at night. We started walking back. We were just about to pass Checkers. And I think it was a girl, if I'm correct. I think she might have had a passenger. I'm not sure. Was trying to drive. Like, you know how it's a weird, like, triangle right there where the Checkers is at?
Yeah.
So she was coming.
Like by the
this
train
way.
tracks, right?
Yeah.
Or by
right
the post
tra-
office?
Yeah, right there. So she was coming sideways, and for some reason, a cop had just started speeding. Like, I think he was responding to a call or something like that. So he actually went so fast that, if I'm correct, he hit the side of her, and her whole car. It was kind of like a small Jeep, something like that.
A Jeep Patriot,
Oh, maybe.
right? Grand Cherokee, little guy.
Yeah, it was on the small side. I don't know which one, but anyway,
Cherokee.
he actually hit her.
The cop?
The cop actually hit her car so hard that the back end of her car went swinging.
She
And
got T-boned pretty much.
Yeah. The back of her car went swinging, and it came right towards me, and two of my cousins and our friends that we were leaving.
Holy shit.
So literally, I wouldn't call it near-death experience, but for some reason it was weird. I remember it as, for some reason, it happened really slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And like, we ran across the street because we were right in the middle of the street right when it happened.
It was like a no shit moment.
Yeah.
That's
So
when
we
the adrenaline
like,
kicks in.
yeah. So it was like so fucking slow. We like hauled ass across the street, and the car just so happened to stop right at the corner of the sidewalk of where we got to. Like, it was almost instant, but it felt like it took fucking forever, like through my eyes.
Well,
It was
doesn't
the
adrenaline
scariest
slow
shit.
things down?
Yes,
It does.
it does.
Okay.
It makes you perceive that, like, it doesn't actually.
Time
slow
doesn't
things down,
exist
but-
when you're on adrenaline, pretty much.
Yeah. Like, there has been features of like people do superhuman strength things, like in a moment, like it's
Yeah,
adrenaline
lifting the
fueled.
car.
Yeah,
stuff
like
like
if
that,
the
yeah.
mother, like kid's under a car, she's been able to move it, like just enough to get the kid out, and like she's like
Yeah.
120 pounds soaking wet. I just like, I don't know, like you hear so many stories about near death experiences, and like, oh, I woke up, like there's books Like I said, like one guy wrote 17 minutes in hell, and another person was like 20 minutes in heaven. It's like, who's right here? You know what I mean? Then you have other people. I read a story once about a guy who woke up on a starship, and he was like, I swear to God, the guy was like, I woke up and I was
Captain
in like,
Picard was staring right
he
at
was
me.
like, I was in like a sick bay, and like I asked, and a voice told me that this was all real. But I have to go back to Earth because my mission was not complete, and then I woke up in a hospital bed, and it's because like the doctor fucked up my anesthesia when I went in for surgery.
Dude, anesthesia is a powerful fucking drug.
Yeah, they don't fuck.
shit.
They don't fuck with that shit.
Like, oh my god.
It will kill you.
Yes,
It will
it
kill.
will.
Yeah, it's
Just
designed to
ask
put
Michael
you.
Jackson.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, that's what he died of.
What I think Robin Williams said was like, you know, he was taking
I
that
don't think
type
Michael
of.
Jackson died of.
Michael Jackson was taking that sort of shit.
Propofol.
Yeah, he was taking propofol to
It
help
was
him
pills
go.
that. It was pills that.
He was like taking propofol to help him go
Oh,
to
that
sleep.
drug.
It's like you don't do that. It's like taking chemotherapy because you don't want haircuts anymore.
Yeah.
You don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a
So,
little extreme.
all
I got
right.
a
So,
question. Hold on.
Yeah, but at
before
least
we go to break.
he made Thriller though, so it was all right.
Has anybody ever had a dream, or yeah, I guess it would be a dream that you
Little
were
black boys and
falling,
little black girls can go.
Yeah.
but you never hit the
share
ground?
schools together.
Sure.
that's not.
What was it? What was the last part? I missed it. I'm sorry. I was
The
being a dick.
dream of you falling, but you never hit the
You
ground,
wake up before you hit the ground.
or when you fall. I always like, not that I'm falling, is that I wake up
Well, that's what
because
skydiving.
of the fall.
That's what skydiving feels like. That exact same feeling of like when you're falling, but you and then you
Well, I mean,
wake up.
You do hit the ground.
No, well, no. then
If you
would-
skydive
no,
while
no.
falling asleep, you don't wake up when
Well,
you hit
no,
the ground.
you don't. But it's the same. But it's the same feeling of just like falling, but like like that feeling of what like when right before you wake up. But in skydiving, you don't
Well,
wake up.
I think
But it's that same
everybody.
feeling.
Yeah, I think everybody has had that type of dream because everybody has talked about that type of dream before.
Yeah, there's
Well, what
commonalities.
bothers me about that, you'll relate that dream to somebody, and they'll say, "Well, you know what? The fact remains that if you hit the ground, you're dead." How the fuck do you know?
That's
that's not true.
No, that's not true. I've seen
It's a
I've
dream.
seen my body lifeless get shot at in
What?
dreams before. So that's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about like, you know, common dreams amongst people. Like, there's just certain things that everyone experiences as you know, as a dream. Like,
Yeah.
then Wes brought up like lucid dreams before. Like, that doesn't really count in this discussion, but like, that's the ability to control, like, realize that you're in a dream and then control it.
Which then takes it to the next part of our segment.
Yeah, which is a
would-
lot of fun. I've done that shit. It's not. It's like you got to really know what you're doing.
Okay.
It's an extreme amount of consciousness that you like.
Christopher
have.
Nolan, calm
Oh, yeah.
down. Well, we're going to talk about
So many weird
Riggy.
things.
We're going to go on a quick little break, and we'll come back and we'll talk more about we'll talk about out of body experiences, and maybe some more about near death experiences. You know, at the end. So we'll be right back, guys. Hey everybody, I'm JC3.
And I'm Mr. West.
And this episode is brought to you by Dubby. Made by professionals in the USA, Dubby was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, including the patented Neurofactor. You know what Dubby doesn't give you?
What's that?
No calories,
No calories.
no sugars,
No sugar.
no fillers,
No fillers.
and no artificial flavors. When the raw ingredients arrive to their FDA-registered and inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP guidelines, they undergo a quarantine while a small sample of each ingredient is taken to test for any impurities, while also being tested to ensure that the ingredients are actually what they are supposed to be and have the proper dosage.
And once the ingredients pass all the tests, then they're cleared to get mixed into the formula. So head on over to dubby.gg and use our offer code IsThisRealPC for 10% off your first order. That's DUBBY.GG and use the code IsThisRealPC for 10% off. They have great flavors such as Galaxy Grenade, Dub Sludge, Passion Joy Tea, Monkey Madness, and Dragonade. My personal favorites.
Dragonade right here. I got Dragonade right here. Delicious.
Drink Dubby.
And be better.
These products are not intended to diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hello, this is JC3 speaking. If you want to know more about Is This Real Podcast and our parent company Green Hour Media, then visit greenhourmedia.org. You can find and follow all of our social media pages through our website. If you love our content, then you can support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Patreon page. Remember, That is greenhourmedia.org.
And welcome back to our near-death experience episode, along with our out-of-body experience episode. This episode, like all of our other episodes, is brought to you by Tubby!
Buy Dubby.
You want an outer body experience? Drink Dubby.
Buy Dubby.
Because you can fight yourself.
Buy Dubby.
We're
Buy
never
that
going to
shit
get
now.
sponsored again by anybody. You know, we were actually denied by Instacart. You know why? This is exactly the reason why.
I use Instacart all the time.
Okay.
You guys need to partner with, like, you know,
Punch
some
in the
adult
code.
places.
Is this real PC to get 10% off all your Dubby products? Now, out-of-box experiences, you bunch of fucking jerk-offs. What do we have for that?
I got something.
It's an outer body experience. You're not in your body.
I
Boom.
got
That's it.
so fucking high.
Here's the
It
thing.
felt
I was with my
I was out
coworker.
of my body.
I was with my coworker today. We were just talking about this shit, like today. And he's like, dude, I took some mushrooms once, and I thought it wasn't that big a deal, so I took more, and then I took a third, and the next thing I knew, I was watching myself paint my room. I was like, excuse me? He's like, dude, I was watching myself paint the room.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that high off mushrooms because I've only taken like an eighth at once, and they tell me that you got to have like at least like a quarter, which means you got to have at least like about 9 grams before you start feeling kind of feeling funky like that.
And they said when you do stuff like that, you do not shower, right? You don't go anywhere near water because if you're tripping on that shit, you don't know what the fuck's happening. You could drown. But he goes, I had to shower once.
Huh?
So he goes, I took the mushrooms.
In the shower?
He goes, I took the mushrooms, got in the shower, and it was feeling magical. But I put my head under the water, and when I opened my eyes, I was in feudal Japan. He goes, I opened my eyes, and I was under a waterfall, and I was looking at the countryside, and it was Japan. And then I pulled my head back, and I was back in my bathroom. And I was like, what the shit were you on, bro?
Obviously mushrooms.
Well, yes, obviously
fuck.
mushrooms, but like some good mushrooms, apparently.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a really good time.
So
Like-
this, I'm just saying.
Has
I
anyone...
need his connect.
Okay, has anyone in this booth had an out-of-body experience before?
No.
No? Okay.
Like
so,
the
I
close.
mean, if you guys keep saying it doesn't count, but if you get so fucking high, you can like see your
Yeah,
own
not
body.
without some kind of device.
I mean,
Well-
I've heard stories like there was a woman once who like she was able to float above herself. She saw her body on the bed,
Yeah, that's the closest
and
thing.
like she was able to like fly out of her window to go see things that she would not have been privy to had she not been having
maybe
this
she's going to Never Neverland.
outer
Think
body
about that.
experience. I don't know, but like then she went back into her body. It was
well,
her,
that's
you know.
like in the spiritual aspect of that. That's literally crossing.
It was
crossing.
her astral.
Yeah,
her
okay.
astral,
She
her
said.
soul, her soul body.
The
And I'm guessing
definition...
she said that she saw like a little like silver link to her belly button.
No, I didn't hear that
So
part.
that's
This
usually
was featured on like an old episode of like not Believe It or Not, but it was what was that show?
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
No. What was that show that the guy from Star Trek used to host, Jonathan Frakes? Or
I have no
Frakes?
idea who Jonathan Franks is.
Beyond Belief. You and I used to watch that show. It was like a show in the '90s.
Beyond belief, that was
Jonathan Frakes was whatever the fuck his name is from Star Trek. He played Riker on Star Trek.
yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Block.
They did something.
Yeah.
on that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, they did an
Mike.
episode on that, and that was her story. She's like, I was able to go and I was able to walk around and see things that I was lying in bed the whole time.
Yeah, that's all the
Well-
similar things that I've heard about astral projection as well too. Like
Okay.
I know like they say that the steps that include going with astral projection is that you have to keep your mind awake at all times. So if you're like lying in bed, one of the first things that or some of the steps to that is just to stay perfectly still, and then when you have that sudden urge to like itch your body, you have to like ignore that and overpass that part.
Don't
and
scratch.
then that's when your body is physically starting to shut down and go to sleep. And the furthest I've gotten with something like that back when I was back on like that wild shit
When you were a bad boy.
when I was, whatever. It's that
When you were not a child
literally
of God.
when I was not a child of God. You feel your body start falling asleep, and it's the same feeling like when your leg falls asleep. You feel like that TV static in your leg.
Dude, I feel that
So
every time I sit on the toilet.
It's a very interesting feeling because it starts from your toes and then it starts working its way up. But that's your body physically falling asleep. And the toughest part of that is to keep your mind and keep your consciousness awake.
What are you laughing at?
Before you supposedly can do like the
What,
outer body experience.
Has nobody sat on the toilet and lost feeling in their feet?
We
By
don't
that time,
sit
I've heard.
there for that fucking long.
Like, seriously.
Fuck you! You've shat for more than an hour and a half before.
You've shat?
Shat is the correct terminology, but I had
That's
reasons.
the past tense.
I had reasons.
English. You know?
Probably had Taco Bell that morning for breakfast or something. I don't
Okay,
know.
so it happens.
You had a
No,
nice,
no.
Saw a
When
nice movie too.
if I'm taking a shit and I'm in there for a minute, and I know I'm going to be here for a while, and I put the sign on the door, "Do not disturb,"
You have a
and
sign.
my leg starts going numb, I will stand up and stretch out a little, put it up on
Mid
the toilet.
shit?
Well, I mean, obviously not when I'm going, but like if
Man,
I
that's
know,
nasty.
Like,
I know,
are you like pushing and then static?
No. It's like I get done, it hits the toilet. I'm like, hold on a second, before I start this next push, let me put my leg up real quick,
So it is mid shit.
get the blood flowing again.
It is. How
I'm
do
not
you do?
sitting there and just
How
let
do
my
you
neck?
sit there and fucking like have a mid shit?
I don't no, but it's like
You clench and just walk?
it's no, not clenching and walking. It's between pushes.
This motherfucker's giving birth, bro.
Like- You've
can't
trained
sit-
your asshole?
Giving
Well,
birth
it's
to a
like,
shit
it's-
demon, a
when You take a
Gorgotha.
shit, and you're like, hold on, I got more coming, but like I have a moment of like, a moment where you could just breathe.
That moment of clarity.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I can wipe the sweat from my
Okay.
brow.
Okay, hold
Now
on.
let me stretch out. Let me clear the cobwebs.
Let's stop this fucking conversation right now. So an out-of-body experience, or OB or UBI, is a phenomenon in which a person perceives the world from a location outside the physical body. I do have. What does it feel like? What does an OBE feel like? According to accounts from people who've experienced them, they've generally involved a feeling of floating outside your body, an altered perception of the world, such as looking down from a height, the feeling that you're looking down at yourself from above, and a sense that what's happening is very real. OBEs typically happen without warning, usually don't last very long. If you have a neurological condition, such as epilepsy, you may be more likely to experience OBEs. They may also happen more frequently, but for many people, an OBE will happen very rarely, maybe once in a lifetime, if at all. So around 5% of people have experienced this sensation. 5% of the entire population of the world.
It's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
And it's not a new concept. It's been around for like hundreds of years. Like ancient shamans would preach about like
It's like more it's like been around since like practically like since the dawn of man. Type
yeah, it's
shit.
like you can see things from afar if you do things
Yeah,
the
so
right way. And
what
drink
they're
the
saying, stress or
whatever.
trauma can trigger it, which this how's stress? I'm surprised
I mean,
nobody's
think of it-
walking around
yeah,
outside their
think of it,
fucking
I don't
body.
want to go. I mean, think of it like this. I don't want to go dark here, but if you're someone who's in a like a place you can't escape, like someone who's being abused, while the abuse is happening, they will like tune out and not be there.
Are you saying that bitches tune out?
I don't want to call
mid-rape?
abuse.
That is a
victims bitches.
derogatory term.
What I'm
How
saying
dare
is,
you.
someone who is being abused
Okay,
in the
so-
moment will
okay,
tune out and
so,
not be there.
Look, watch. Okay.
That's why
so,
things get buried in their subconscious.
What can cause them? Ready? You have stress and trauma. You have medical conditions such as epilepsy, migraine, cardiac arrest, brain injuries, depression, anxiety. Guillain-Barré syndrome.
Guillain-Barré syndrome.
There you go. It had an accent, so I thought, ole, something like that.
Ole?
Medication and drugs, other substances, mostly anesthesia. They have these under out-of-body experiences. Obviously, your body's shut down. Other substances, including cannabis, ketamine, and hallucinogenic drugs such as LSD, can cause this sensation. Then we have,
Cannabis.
near-death experiences can cause out-of-body experiences.
Sure.
So, cardiac arrest, traumatic injury, brain hemorrhage, drowning, suffocation. Imagine yourself drowning?
No, I don't want to imagine that at all. That's terrifying.
fucked up.
See, a lot of this stuff that you're talking about too is it just seems to me it's all related to depriving the brain either of oxygen or something like that.
All right, you're right.
Chemically
Okay.
changing it.
So, strong G-forces is another thing. And I've never experienced a very, very strong G-force. So,
I don't think we've ever experienced a
Yeah.
G-force. Like you got to be in like a plane to
yeah.
experience.
And
G-force.
then
Or
here's
a
the
rocket ship.
or something like that. Yeah.
here's the most interesting part where we can sit here and sink our teeth in: paranormal. Though not backed by research, some people believe that OBEs can occur when your soul or spirit leaves your body. One form is known as traveling clairvoyance, which some mediums claim allows your soul to visit distant locations in order to gain information. Others believe that certain meditative practices can help you reach a state of consciousness that transcends the body and mind, leading to an OBE. Some people also experience with astral projection, which is a spiritual practice that involves making an intentional effort to send your consciousness from your body toward a spiritual plane or dimension.
That's,
However, research has not been allowed to show that these practices cause OBEs.
Do you remember the movie? You would remember the movie Crucible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Back in the 1600s or late 1500s, they thought like that too. You could send out your familiar spirit. Your familiar spirit. They can you can do things because you want your familiar spirit to do it. But it was disproven. No one's ever.
Whoa.
The witches were disproven.
Well, I mean,
Okay, no, that's not true. Also, there was a lot of false accusations.
Yeah.
But it's not taking into account
Is
that
that-
witchcraft did not happen because it did.
No,
That
yeah,
just
there
reminded
was
me of
such
Rick
witches.
Ross.
Yeah, I understand that.
Accusations.
Yeah. So
False.
listen,
accusations.
it's not like it's disproven because it's not proven either. So just because it's not proven doesn't mean it's disproven. You know what I'm saying?
all
The
right,
absence
so
of
how many
evidence
people
is
do
not
you
the
walk
evidence of
into?
the absence.
Exactly.
So now we're not calling it sending out your familiar spirit. You're having an out of body experience. That's what they're. That's what.
Well, no,
they're
they're sending. If you're gonna go in that terms, they're saying it as more of intentional harm type of way. You know, as they said, they're taking pins and pricking them or causing flames, shit like that. You know,
Isn't that more voodoo?
in a way, yes, but this is more again witchcraft and voodoo. They're kind of sisters,
It's
but they're not the same thing.
voodoo. Voodoo would be like a subcategory of witchcraft. It's
Yeah.
it's all the same shit. It's all just messing around with the supernatural outside of
But
the
they have different beliefs.
outside of the natural phenomenon.
It's just like Christianity. You have Christianity, then you have Catholicism, Roman Catholic.
and then
it's
you got
the same
then you
type of
got
shit.
then you got Baptists, then you got Protestants, then
So,
you got Orthodox.
again, it's
they all
not-
they all believe in the sun. At the end of the day, that's all it is. That's what I've come to acknowledge.
They didn't disprove it.
All sun worship.
So again, I know the main picture of this episode is the astral projection sign. You know, the person sitting there. I think he has the third eye, and the blue person just meditating. So again, it's not that it's disproven because again, nobody is actually doing a lot of research on it.
But you can't.
That's not exactly true.
How do you research it?
Yeah.
Well, the CIA's been.
The CIA in 1973 put out a report.
Wasn't that like Project Fishbowl or something?
No, that's something else. Astral projection caper. I'm trying to just read through it. Now, it says it was top secret. It was approved for release in 2011, declassified.
God damn you, Richard Nixon.
So, I mean, I'll just read a little bit of it because I don't have it all here, but it says subject. So, telephone call from redacted. Subject volunteered to attempt to locate a facility in the USSR comparable to the underground installation previously described. Found it, gave its exact coordinates not mentioned specifically, but to be somewhere near the Ural Mountains. Subject described external features including helicopter pads, rail spur, and some miles away, 30 to 40 miles large antenna dishes. Subject said the antennas were used for intercepting downlink telemetry from U.S. satellites. So
basically the same shit we were talking about last week.
the guy's like, I see shit in Russia,
Yeah.
and he could tell because he sent his spirit out there to look. Which, if that's the case, like, I wish I had that fucking superpower.
You'd be a fucking creep.
I would be a creep, but that's not. I would use it for my own personal gain.
Creep.
Not. I wouldn't just use.
You
it
know
to watch
what?
people fuck.
You know what, Anthony? Jail, all right?
Straight to jail.
I would use it to, like,
We
you
would
know,
ban-
get information so I can make money, like, in the stock market.
No,
or
you
something.
wouldn't. You would be a creep.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be a creep. We've established that and I'm agreeing with, but I'm saying I would use it for other reasons as well.
I don't think so. I think
So
it's
the
all just
CIA
creepy.
Getting behind the banking system.
CIA was
No,
able
see,
to use
no,
it.
hold on. That you scare me with that shit. Because I already know if you become any type of hierarchy of government official, we're fucked.
I don't want to say fucked, but
Just watch your backs.
Like, you literally just called women bitches on here. So, yeah, we're kind of fucked, all right?
So there was a gateway.
Hey, you know what? I don't like children.
What?
Not.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
I'm not a government. I wouldn't be a good government official, bro.
Oh, that's right, because they're all pedophiles.
Because they're all pedophiles.
Okay,
there you
cool.
go.
So with the CIA, they call it the gateway process. That was their.
Is that why they call cannabis a gateway drug?
No. That was their study into astral projection to see if it could be used and possibly weaponized. And that was approved and declassified in 2003.
Don't these documents have to be like over like 25 years old or something like that?
I don't
Well,
know.
in
but-
1973, it's over. It's 50 years old now.
Well, that was that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at it's called the Analysis and Assessment of Gateway Process, June 9th, 1983. So that's when this was
40
written.
years ago, yeah.
Right, and that's when this was written. And there's like throughout this document, there's like pictures of like drawings of the brain, about motor function and the cortex.
You know what I'm realizing as the more we go on with this season is it feels like season 4. I don't know.
It's a 30-page document that's been declassified.
Anthony
about
wasn't here
astral
most of
projection.
season 4, but you remember in season 4 when we talked about the government secrets and shit like that, and it just felt like every episode was connected to the last episode before it. Like
Yeah.
somehow it just had to connect.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
feeling this shit is type of the same thing, you know?
You've seen
Like
the pattern?
everything that you know, it's all for they're trying to find secrets using the powers of the brain and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm feeling like most of the season is
Well,
turning out
they've
into.
they've successfully accomplished that mission, and they're still doing that, in the sense because mass hypnosis is still a big thing. They
Well, let's
perfected.
talk
they
about
perfect-
that.
They perfected the art of manipulating people. So they've been studying that for what now, close to 80, 90 years.
Well,
You don't think that they would've-
manipulations are timeless? I mean, they were doing
Yeah.
that back. That's the whole Ten Commandments.
Well, let's just put it like that. I have
Thousands of years old.
this little list right here says other experiences. OBEs might be able to induced intentionally or accidentally by brain stimulation, sleep deprivation, sensory deprivation, or hypnosis or meditative trance. So hypnosis
Yeah.
can give a body out of body experience.
Yeah, I've heard when back in like that spiritual journey I was like starting out with, they said that like if you were to meditate after a while, then like you would get into that nirvana trance state of mind where you're like in bliss. It's pretty much just
You've
active.
aligned all your chakras.
You've aligned all your chakras. Pretty much, it's pretty much releasing the DMT that's built up in your body naturally because it's in your lung. It's in your lungs.
So spiritual masturbation.
Spiritual masturbation.
All right, cool.
and I'm here to get off
All right.
I'd
and
like
get
to-
out. Apparently,
I'd like to align your chakras.
did you know
Okay.
that? Hold on, real quick. Did you know that the Apostle Paul wrote about an outer body experience? Corinthians 12. I must go on boasting, although there is nothing to be gained. I will go on to visions and revelations from the Lord. I know a man in Christ who 14 years ago was caught up to the third heaven. I didn't know we had more than one.
7 layers of heaven.
Whether it was in the body or out of the body, I do not know. God knows, and I know this man, whether in the body or apart from the body, was caught up to paradise and heard inexpressible things that is no one permitted to tell. Bible scholars believe that Paul was referring to himself in the third person here. He admits that he doesn't know for sure what happened during this vision, but God does. Somehow, Paul writes he had traveled spiritually to a heavenly dimension where he learned mysteries that he couldn't express and isn't permitted to tell anyway. Gee, isn't that fucking convenient? Isn't that just like the Mormons? It's like we have the gold plates. No one can see them except me, and you have to trust me. It's exactly what I'm telling you.
Source, trust me, bro.
Exactly. And Paul did the same thing. He's like, I went to heaven. I saw things. Can't tell you what they were. I learned things, but I can't tell you what they.
You probably saw the fucking megalodon. All right.
What?
We're gonna take a short little break,
What the fuck is good with this dude?
and then we'll end this episode, and we'll be right back.
White.
If you liked this video today, please click the like and subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification icon to keep up with all our videos.
welcome back to the young and the homeless. No, okay. Welcome back to Is This Real? As we wind down this episode, this is our 4th episode this season, I believe.
No, this is
5th?
like number 6.
Yeah.
We only have like 1 left. No, we have 2 left.
No.
Yes.
No. I don't think that's.
I was just on our website, dude. We only have 2 episodes left.
So Mandela Effect, Mind Control, Stranger Things, Stargate. Oh, we have 3 left.
We have Reincarnation,
That's gonna be a fun one.
and we have
Because Reincarnation is more that's next week's, by the way. Reincarnation is next week's episode. That's more religious.
we have Reincarnation. We have the Satanic Panic 2.0.
And
Oh,
we
I'm
have
sorry.
we have media.
We do have an episode about media manipulation, which we already kind of talked heavily on with mind control, but we're gonna go right back into it.
Oh yeah, I mean this one
kind of
is-
like bookending the season.
Yeah, like and then we get the Satanic Panic episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, Satan! No?
Hail Satan!
Okay, no, that's not what I meant. Wes is like, I'm gonna Muay Thai all of you right now.
You will die in the name of God.
Please don't Muay Thai me, but if you're going to put me to sleep, if you have one of them sleeper holds, I could take that.
That's more
Sleeper
That's
hold?
more Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I haven't trained that yet.
Bro,
And you will have an
can never get a
out-of-body
break.
experience.
I mean, should we get that live on camera? Out of body experience? Wes, do you have any more mushrooms?
I know a guy.
All right.
We know.
You know all the guys. Whoa. Pause.
They know
All
me,
right.
They know me too. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Yeah, this guy.
Phrasing.
That guy knows what I'm talking about.
Phrasing.
That guy knows what I'm
All
talking
right,
about.
so
I don't give a fuck.
let's just get out of the way real quick. Out of body experiences, Dad. Do you believe in out of body experiences?
As far as a spiritual thing where you're actually floating above your body and you do leave your body, no, I don't. I think it's all mind related. I think it's all. No, I'm serious. I think it's all mind related. That it's not happening, but your mind is in an altered state for some reason, and we've discussed. The fuck is that?
They're yelling for some reason.
Okay, we've discussed. You know, a lot of it has got to do with chemical. It has a lot to do with, oxygen deprivation to the brain.
Yeah. So
Don't mind the yelling, people. That's just our property value going down.
is that the? Do you not believe in near death experiences either?
No, I think it's
Because
the
those
same thing.
they kind of go hand in hand.
They do. To me, it just seems to be like, it always seems to happen in a hospital, or this one got operated on. Now they're in a recovery room, and now next thing you know, they're standing on Mars playing a flute. I'm sorry. I think it's all chemically induced by either anesthesia or, some kind of imbalance in the brain somewhere. I just don't believe it. I don't see that. Now, am I right? No, I'm not. It's my opinion.
All right, Mr. West.
For both of them,
Yeah, for out of body experiences and near death.
I believe in them. It's a very compelling argument. I've had my fair takes of drugs and
experiences.
experiences.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah,
gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. West.
There's more than one word.
Pope?
I don't think so. I mean, just for me, like near death experiences for me, I don't know. Like I said, Pop, like he was like, nah, it was just darkness. I fell asleep.
Darkness is coming.
I'm like, all right, Pop, thanks for that.
Well,
like,
Pop is also the person that stands outside and like, why am I wet when it's raining outside?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I get it. I'm just saying, like,
True.
if this was something where we had more people who are like,
Love you, big guy.
I don't know. Like, some people, it's like a 50-50 thing. Some people see something or experience something, and other people are like, yeah, nothing happened. I woke up and I was on the floor and whatever. So I don't know about the near-death experience one. As far as out-of-body experience, I've never experienced it, and that's kind of how I base a lot of this shit on. Like, if I experience it and I can give you a first-hand experience, then I'm more inclined to believe in it. But, like, I never had that. I'd be down for it. Like, if I ever ran into me, I'm getting out the duck butter. That's just me personally.
So,
Like,
so
you
don't judge it unless you've done it.
I photoshopped pictures of me having sex with myself.
We will post those.
Like, Josh has told me to go fuck myself, and I really can't because I'm only one person. But if I was able to do something where there was two of me, All I'm saying, everyone here, we have an entire episode debating if it was incest or masturbation. We don't have that answer.
The fuck we won't.
I don't know.
So-
Like I said, my
so
coworker saw
Anthony-
himself painting the room.
The Pope turns around and says he doesn't judge anything unless he's experienced it. So how was the dog licking your balls?
Excuse me?
We're not talking about that, okay?
Off air. Off air.
That's a
Maybe-
Patreon story.
maybe, yeah,
Can I
maybe-
talk about that story on Patreon?
All I'm saying,
It's
Josh,
his-
is I had a call the other night. She went, woof. I went, you don't fucking call this number after 9 o'clock.
All right, roadblock.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
I said I'll pet you later.
Shut the fuck up, Tony. Okay, to try and answer the question without dying laughing, because we have so many fucking memories.
Oh, whoa. Okay, whatever.
Those can incriminate you. Remember that.
That's why I'm not talking about them. Anyway, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of what Dad said. I really think most of it just comes to the fact that there's some weird chemical shit going on in your body when you, like, probably almost die. To me, kind of seems like there's an adrenaline shot straight to your brain.
Yeah.
So you kind of perceive things just unknowingly. It's like you think you see things because your eyes flicker for a couple minutes while you're almost dead or something
it's
like
kinda
that.
Like, how many people say, well, you get up in the morning and say, well, I had this dream about, whatever. And it's like, well, we were talking about it before you went to bed.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know,
Exactly.
I mean,
So you
that's-
remember it.
Exactly.
So it kind of, to me, it kind of seems like it piggybacks off of that.
I agree with that.
your
because it's
subconscious
like
does
your
that shit.
body is hit with such a jolt of like chemicals, adrenaline, and God knows whatever else happens inside your head when you're experiencing that you could literally just hallucinate anything. I mean, come on, I can make up shit of things happening. Like,
Well, yeah, I could
around.
see
A
that
lot of
with
wake-up
like,
juice.
like I could definitely see that when it comes to like the drugs and stuff. But like when you talk about like sleep deprivation or like sensory deprivation.
But that's the same thing, though. Imagine it. You literally take away the sleep, the one thing your body needs to be able to recharge. After a long, extended period of time, what happens? And you don't really know, but there are some studies, in some cases, even like some of the military episodes we've done, where there was sleep deprivation. It drove people insane. There's even stories of insane asylums. People won't go to sleep because they're literally crazy, and then next thing you know, they kill themselves or they write crazy writings on the wall in their own blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all in the body, and the body, as much as we know about it, we still don't know that last percentage.
I was going to say, yeah.
There's a lot of it that we can go off of. So, at least for the near-death experience, that's what I think it is for the most part. Out-of-body experience, I believe it's definitely like drugs that can help you experience that. I mean, I won't go into full detail, but I'm pretty sure there was one night, not to incriminate, for
the record, Joshua just peeked over at Anthony.
I don't know what you're talking about.
not to incriminate anybody, there was one night, it was me and several friends passing around about 8 joints of marijuana all at once.
Oh, man.
8?
Yes.
That's not enough. That's not that bad.
No, 8
For
you.
you professional smoker. That's not enough.
That's not that bad.
That's a
For
Wednesday
someone
you,
who
Wes.
smokes once at the
Professional
time.
smoker, Mr. West. That's your next rap name.
Yeah, exactly. For someone who smoked like once a month, if that, when they were younger, 8 blunts at once, literally going back to back for like a half hour, that was something new.
Yeah, we had to lap Josh at one point. Like, let's go, rookie.
Yeah. I'm literally sitting there half asleep, still smoking somehow. They passed it to me, and I remember going,
Yeah,
Like,
I've done
it
that.
was-
I've done that.
Yeah, it
That's
was
happened
that
to me at
bad.
Seaside.
yeah, no, it got that bad. But it was like, at one point,
Good times, good times.
yeah,
They were pretty good times.
yeah, at one point they were all done, and I was still sitting on the seat, and it kind of just got weird because I felt like I was right next to myself. Like, I was hunched over like this, like looking like I'm asleep, but then it felt like I was next to myself going, "You okay?" Like, who
I'm
the
alright.
fuck says, "Are you okay?" to
To you-
yourself.
I mean, hey.
You know what I mean? So at least on the drug side, I can't believe an out-of-body experience can happen because Lord knows what the fuck happens. And besides, it did say cannabis. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Josh and I got fucked up once so much that he spoke backwards and I understood it.
It is true.
I think that's just being a best friend.
Could be.
Because I know his fucking things. He'll just sit there and go. I'm like, dude, I know. I feel the same way. Like literally, that has happened. Like, you know what? The funny thing, before I do. Okay, so for me, at least I do believe in out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences. I, thank God, haven't experienced any. But out-of-body, you know how I experience out-of-body experiences?
Oh.
Every time that motherfucker talks.
Why?
Because I don't know if it's the angel or demon on my shoulder, but I hear in my head, punch him in the face.
Joey,
and I think that's me telling myself to do it.
Joey, you're an angry person by nature.
That's the intrusive
And
thoughts.
I happen to be the guy who
Pushes-
everybody wants to hear me speak because no one knows what's going to come out of my mouth. And you're the one, Joey, who wants to put your fist in it and keep me silent.
See? I'm behind myself right now. I'm experiencing it right now.
Joey.
Do it.
Joe, I'm the voice, I'm the little voice in everyone's mind that they don't want to listen to, but they have no choice. And you just want to silence that up.
No, because you know what it is? Because I know what you're gonna say next.
What?
I'm that little voice, and I'm inside you. That's exactly what you want to say.
It's not an outer body experience. It's an inner body experience.
Jail. Straight to jail.
How did you deal with it? You chose to be here. That's what I say about his wife. You chose this life.
I want an in her body experience.
Why do you think I have FBI open up as his ringtone?
That's because you're full of lies and false allegations.
Well, I mean,
you're trying to besmirch my good name. I'm a patriot. I fought for this country.
Just
Silence when I'm speaking.
Just like OJ.
What?
That's enough out of you.
Technicalities, Wes.
Technicalities.
All about technicalities.
All right. So yes, I do believe in out-of-body experiences. But as far as near-death experiences, nobody ever talks about near-life experiences. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're fucking Christ.
What are you gonna do? Sit on a fucking porch and go, yay?
No, like a near-life experience would be somebody who goes to the same job for 30 years and does nothing, and then one day he's like, you know what? I want a motorcycle. And then, like, he gets scared because he never driven one before.
That's a midlife crisis.
I know, and it was a near-life experience. He gives it back, goes back to his cubicle, and dies like 25 years
One
later.
more thing before we go. Anthony, what is a near miss?
A near miss? It's a stupid phrase because it should be a collision, but it's not. It's like when two things hit each other, you go, they nearly missed. It should be that. It's like if you and I ran at each other at full speed.
And you both narrowly missed each other.
I would pay money. I'm not gonna lie. I would actually pay money to see that.
It's, you know what I mean? Like,
no, why? You want the Earth to stop? Like, Jesus.
I want to see 650 pounds of Jello
collide.
More than that.
I want to see that collide.
It's
bro.
like if
we're talking like 7, maybe 800
if
pounds.
a school bus
just
full of
colliding into
disabled
each other.
orphans
What?
crashed.
Wait a minute.
I'm just saying, if a bus and a train collided, that's a near miss because they nearly missed. Like, there was an attempt to not get hit. But, like, two things that don't hit each other, that's not a near miss. They didn't touch.
It's a near hit.
It's a near hit, exactly.
Okay. So, we're going to end this episode here.
They almost hit each other.
Okay, shut up.
I'm with you.
We're going to end this episode here. Next week, we have reincarnation.
You're shaking your head. I'm the voice of the fucking people, Dad.
Yes, we know.
Shut up. So next week, gentlemen, we have
People into the Muay
reincarnation.
Thai.
Okay, we have 3 more episodes left of this season. So next week we have reincarnation, and then we have media manipulation, and then we have our satanic panic part 2.0. So again, follow us on all of our social media. Go buy the W. I didn't do this when we came back, but W. Go to w.gg, punch in the code Is This Real PC, and get 10% off all your energy products. That's what you need to do. You need to go do it now.
Buy it. Buy W now.
How talking like Satan's gonna get them to buy it?
I was going for Batman.
That doesn't sound like Batman.
Where is he?
That's Batman.
Where is he?
All right.
I snorted some W before I came on, and boy,
Jesus
I'll be up
Christ.
for 6 more days.
Okay, so does anybody have anything else to add tonight?
No.
No?
Nope.
All right, so
Don't
we'll-
climb mountains without gear.
I would use.
That's very
I
important.
would use out of body experience for evil purposes. Yes.
We know.
Don't do drugs, kids.
We'll
Let
catch you
drugs
guys
do
next
you.
week. Remember to go to our TikTok, Is This Real PC? Patreon. It's $1 to get next week's episode right now.
What's the Patreon link?
That's very long to sit there. Just go to Patreon, put Is This Real Podcast in the search bar.
You just can't tell everyone the link. It might help them out.
It's not a link. It's like patreon.com/numbers and letters.
XYZ underscore.
Yeah.
That's a link.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and say that and fucking phonetically, asshole. Did I use that word correctly?
Not at all.
No? No? Okay, whatever. Anywho, go to our Patreon. You know what? Go to the fucking link in our bio in the fucking TikTok page, right? And if you want to get rated, we rate you on lives, all right? This is how we're going to fucking do.
Is it linked on our website?
Hold on.
Yes.
GreenArrowMedia.org. Head on over. There's a button up there with Patreon. You click on that. It heads over to our Patreon. $1 gets you in. $5 gets you a mug. It's a lot of fun, and we're always adding new content. We have some true crime stuff up there. We have a new series that we're going to launch soon called Wisdom with West. It's
already up.
It's already up?
Yes.
Look at that. We have all good stuff there, and it's cheap, and it helps to support the podcast so we can do new crazy fun shit for you because that's what we want to do.
Instead of sending $1 to a starving child in Africa, you can send it to us.
They never spend that money wisely.
We will spend that money wisely.
They always like.
The fucking episode.
When where's their mics?
That's why there's no vending machines in Africa. They're afraid they're going to
Okay,
spend it.
we're going to catch you guys next week,
Let's just rob it
and
for
we will
parts.
sit there and see you in reincarnation. Everybody say goodbye.
Oh, yeah, to
Bye
me.
from hell.
Adios, motherfuckers.
Good night, everybody.
We will catch you guys next week. Good night. Remember, question everything.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc or on Twitter at isthisrealpc or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.